Okay, so what it is we'll say if you own the house that you're in now, that a housing estate, right? And every year you have to pay €1,000 into the bank for owning a house in a housing estate. That €1,000 then is what makes up what they call the budget. So they have a budget every year, right?
Okay.
And then they divide the budget, the total amount that's needed to keep the place going for the year between all the houses or commercial units or apartments or whatever it is. They divide that down. So we'll say you pay 1,000 and there's 10 houses in your estate. You know,
Yeah.
every house in the estate has to pay €1,000 in,
Okay.
right? And then that's what pays off the expenses like the grass cutting, the electricity, the accounting fees during the year.
Okay.
If you pay your €1,000, it goes forward to the next year. So now next year you owe the 1,000 for that year plus the 1,000 you didn't pay last year. So now you have 2,000 on account
Yeah.
unpaid, right? So that's, and we call those service charges or members charges or management fees, anything.
Okay.
It's the money they paid. So then that's what you see here, balance outstanding. So see this number 3, Kevin O'Connell, he owes 7,193, which means he hasn't paid his management fees for the last few years. And you see now he has a legal and levy fee on top of it. That means
Okay.
the management company has gone to a solicitor to try and get the money off him.
Oh, okay.
So, and then you'll see some of these ones have a minus, shall I say, which means that they have overpaid.
Oh, okay.
So some of them you'll see have overpaid by loads, and then some of them have overpaid by just a small amount.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what that means. And then the service charge per unit for the year, that's what this amount is. So that means, like I was just saying a minute ago, unit 1 has to pay €479 for having their unit in the management company for that year.
Okay. Yeah.
And sinking fund contribution is now don't worry, like you're just going to put the payments in, so don't worry if you don't take it all on. It's just to give you
Okay.
what it is, right? So you're
Okay. Perfect.
you're just going to do one column. It's not that you have to do the whole thing, but it's just
Okay.
yeah.
I was like, oh, please record it.
The sinking fund is a contribution that they put into a pot so that if we say you have a big apartment complex and the roof gets blown off with a storm and all of a sudden you need like 25 grand to fix the roof, right?
Yeah.
This is why they need to have a sinking fund so that there's a pot there for emergencies or if something needs
Okay.
to be done.
Yeah.
That's the legal fees or levy.
And like, would everyone pay into the one sinking pot? And if there was one emergency between all the houses that were owned, you just take, or does each house have its own sinking pot?
No. So the sinking pot, we'll say in a housing estate, might be if something happened out in what we call the common areas, so the greenery, you know.
Okay.
If
Oh, okay. Okay.
if you had a fence there and the fence blew down with a storm or there was some sort of damage in the common areas, then that's what the money would go towards.
Okay.
You know, fixing something like that, because people usually own their own houses, but even if you buy a house in a housing estate, you don't own the common areas, so the
Yeah.
road, the greenery, and that's where you have to pay the service charge into it.
Okay.
Yeah. So the legal levies, then that's just if they're late, so like the ones that owe a lot of money. So this is the column in green that you're going to concentrate, right? So this is the amount that each one of them pay. Okay, so
yeah,
this is the schedule, right? So this is where you're going to want to put it in, and this is the income and expenditure report. So basically this is the bank. This is all the money in, all the money out. Okay, so what I always do first is I highlight anyone that says service charges received, that's money received, and I highlight them all green, just so it makes it easier when you're going down through them to go and pick them out. Okay, so how are you with Excel? And
yeah, we did it in college. Now my formulas wouldn't be off the top of my head, or anything, but I've the gist of it, like it wouldn't be hugely
so
complicated.
you'll use just one formula, and it's very basic. So you're just going to say equals, right? it's unit 1 that you're looking for, back to the income and expenditure report, okay? And then you're going to find any one that has number 1 on it, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so see when you highlight them, they'll be clearer to you. So we'll say, okay, so then you click on the amount, right? We'll say number 1, you click on the amount, you press enter, and then it goes over here.
Oh, okay. And there's just 1 entry for each unit number, is there, in the budget? Or just a few?
Yeah, so there will be some of them that pay small amounts, like there'll be a few of them. Let me see, can I find one now for you? You know, where they pay, so we say this one, right? Number 42, 56 euros. That's a pure indicator that there'll be quite a few payments to get up to whatever they, you know, so we say in this instance then, right, you go to number 42, you press equals when you're in schedule. I'll go down here. Okay, so you're going to say equals, and you're going to look all down through the numbers till you find number 42. This one, after you press that one, scroll down until you find the next number 42. I don't have them highlighted now, they'll be hard to see.
Oh, yeah, there's one there.
So then before you press that, say plus this one, and then you keep going.
What do you mean, like control? Is that what you hit?
No, just the plus button.
Oh, plus, yeah. Okay.
So literally, you start with equals. Once you press equals, click on your income and expenditure. Start from the top, and then every time you see a number, click on the amount, plus, right until you get to the very bottom. Okay. And get to the very bottom, you say, okay, there's no more. That's when you press enter, and it puts you back to the schedule.
Grand.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yeah.
So definitely easier when you highlight them, you know?
Yeah.
When you highlight them green. And then like this is your first one that you're doing. So see how you get on. If you find it easier to highlight it a different color when you're done with that one to eliminate it, you can do that. Right. Might take a little while longer, but it's your first one that you're doing. So see how you get on. And there's a lot of payments in this one.
Grand.
Yeah, so see there now, so I just noticed a minute ago where there was a few numbers together.
Oh yeah, I see that too. I was going to ask you.
Where is that now?
Yeah, it's so there.
So see here, don't mind, right? Because
ignore them.
They might all have different schedule amounts, like see the way they differ for some of them. Because that's a townhouse and that's an apartment. What I'll have to do is I'll have to divide them out.
Okay. So just leave those ones out completely for now.
Yeah, exactly. So just make a note. I think that looks like the only one. Just make a note of 10, 29, 30, 43, and 52. When you get to them, you'll see that they're all together. So don't worry about them.
Right.
Yeah. So then what should happen in the end is what we want to happen is KB balance to match AK's balance and to have a 0 difference.
Okay.
Right, so that means that we have
Perfect.
the same amount as they have and we don't have to ask them any questions.
Okay.
But don't sweat if it doesn't, if you see a difference there, just like if you can, just take a review over it to see do you have them all. But if you can't after your review, don't worry about it. If you can't, I'll find it, or I might ask. Sometimes we have a difference and we have to ask them for a statement, an actual paper statement through an email for that apartment to make sure that they haven't left a payment out in the bank, or you know, there's not something missing. So is that okay?
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is